From the same studio that brought you that wonderful, amazing, awesome movie, Cats, comes Dolittle. Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Ashley Talks Movies. I have another review for you. Today I'm going to be talking about Dolittle, the new film starring Robert Downey Jr. as a doctor who can talk to animals. So I know I'm a little late doing the review for Dolittle. The movie came out a week or so ago, but I finally got around to watching it. Was it worth the wait? No, it was not. But I'll explain why. So let's just get straight to the review.
We've no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
So Dolittle is the first movie that Robert Downey Jr. decided that he was going to do after his stint as Iron Man in the MCU. And as you're watching it, you ask yourself, why? Why, Robert Downey Jr.? Why? Why would you do this movie? It's so bad. It's pretty obvious that this movie was terrible from the beginning. I mean, you can tell even from the script, this movie was going to be pretty awful. Robert Downey Jr. plays Dr. Dolittle. He's a doctor that can talk to animals. He has a special ability to talk to animals. And he basically becomes a recluse after he loses the love of his life. She's lost at sea. And so he shuts himself up into his house along with his animals, away from the public, never to be seen or heard from again, right? But then these two kids show up at his place, and from there, he decides to go on this adventure to help save the queen who's dying, and they have to get like some magical plant or something on an island to help save her.
We've no choice but to embark on this perilous journey.
The plot is a mess. It's one of many things that's just truly terrible about this movie. Robert Downey Jr. is a fantastic actor. I really like Robert Downey Jr. So it pains me to say that Robert Downey Jr. is really bad in this movie. I mean, the movie itself is bad, but like even he can't save it at all. He has this weird accent that he does in the movie. I'm not even sure what accent he's doing. At times it sounded British, at times it sounded Irish, Welsh, I don't know. It's Scottish. It changes, and it was very distracting. And also he kind of mumbles it. So most of his dialogue is completely incomprehensible. I needed subtitles. That would have helped. I didn't know what he was talking about and what he was saying in good portions of this movie. I really don't know how to describe the Dr. Dolittle character in the movie. I mean, there's eccentric, and then there's whatever Robert Downey Jr. is doing. I mean, he's kind of manic and frantic, and he does his hands like this a lot. He was giving me like Johnny Depp, Captain Jack Sparrow vibes at times, and then he just kind of, again, mumbles with the weird accent at animals, and you're just, I don't know what he's doing in this movie. I really don't know why he's in this movie. It's bad. It doesn't help that a lot of the dialogue is these really terribly unfunny jokes. I mean, this movie's painfully unfunny, and it tries so hard to be funny. I mean, there's joke after joke after joke in this movie, and I want to say I laughed maybe once in this movie. There's one joke in the movie that I laughed at. It was pretty funny. Everything else, not funny. The CGI is bad in this movie, and the CGI is used a lot in this movie. All the animals are CGI. Most of the scenery in this movie is CGI. The few action sequences in this movie, you can tell that they use CGI. And it's just bad and blurry. There's so much wrong with this movie. There were times where the characters are talking, particularly Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Dolittle. He's talking, but what he's saying doesn't match how his mouth is moving. So it's pretty clear that they went back and recorded the dialogue. They did ADR on this movie, a lot of it, because it doesn't match at all. Part of the problem with this movie, as I mentioned previously about the story being a mess, they go on this adventure, right? You know, they're gonna save the queen, so embark on this adventure. And it's probably the most boring adventure I've ever witnessed in a movie in a really long time. I was bored out of my mind in this movie. I kept waiting for the movie to end because it was just painfully boring. If you're a parent to young children, you might be compelled to take your kids to see this movie. I would urge you not to do that. Your kids deserve better. And I know some people will say, well, this movie isn't made for you, it's made for kids. True, this Dolittle is definitely made for kids and families. However, I don't think that's an excuse for it being a bad movie. Kids deserve really good movies too, and Dolittle is not a good movie. I imagine there are things that kids will like in this movie. I mean, there's talking animals, and there's really bright colors, and, you know, some of the humor is, you know, characters hitting each other, and I'm pretty sure young kids will laugh at that, but so much of this is just terrible. There's a moment in this movie involving a dragon, and it's just the most ridiculous thing I've seen in a long time. And I saw Cats. And oddly enough, this movie comes from the same studio that made Cats. So, you know, there you go. The one thing I really did like about this movie, and it literally is the only thing I liked about this movie, was at the very beginning, when they do the intro to Dolittle and the character, sort of his backstory. It's an animated sequence, and it's really good animation. Like, it's a different, unique kind of style. It's narrated by Emma Thompson, and it's nice. It's almost like a storybook, the way they put it together. And then the rest of the movie happens, and it's just like, can we go back to the animation part? Can we go back to that? Because that was great. Do more of that. The rest of this, throw it in the trash. Dolittle is so terrible. It is really awful, guys. And I don't know why Hollywood keeps making movies like this, other than they can. Baffling. So anyway, those are my thoughts on Dolittle. Let me know what you think about the movie in the comment section below. While you're here, please like and share this review, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.